I'm here with Hari at ANZ at Docklands for the CT ANZ event on trade digitalisation and trade finance. So Hari, please introduce your role and what you do here with the ANZ.
Sure. I head the industry and innovation function for our transaction banking business at ANZ. Transaction banking is trade and supply chain finance, payments, cash management, liquidity management, commodity finance. It's a big part of ANZ. And my role within that business is industry engagement, like what we do today. A lot of industry advocacy. I sit in a lot of industry boards. And innovation, which is bringing new and exciting propositions to our customers, such as digitizing trade.
Hari, I loved your sort of summary statement when you were at the lectern, just closing out today's event. You know, I had a lot of sort of reminiscing myself. Similar to you, I used to do telexes and LCs, you know, exporting all this chilled and frozen beef from Australia. And, you know, you're right. I think the paperless trade has come a long way from what it used to be, but there's still so much to go.
Absolutely. Like it is, we don't see as much paper as we used to. That is because what is happening is you have something which is created in a paper form, but in a computer, and then transmitted in that form through computers, through electronic channels. In some cases, depending upon which country you are exporting or importing from, that is printed out, but that is not truly digital. When we say truly digital, we are talking about data points as opposed to a PDF document, which can be machine readable. So that's the difference.
Yeah, I think, and that's where that sort of awareness and really getting that penny drop moment for so many people they think digital trade is PDF or emails and things like that, where it's actually far more complex than that.
Yes, absolutely. I think because if you have PDF documents, you're still sending those documents which are semi-structured data in many cases, in some cases completely unstructured documents. But when you move to data, then some of the speakers mentioned today, so the creator of the data can do it once, then it can be used by everyone else in the chain without recreating the same stuff. Yeah. And that's very powerful.
Yeah. And talking about powerful, I think the lineup of speakers that was put on today throughout the whole event has been so impressive because you had so many different perspectives, the government agency perspectives, the overseas perspectives even from Singapore as well. So, you know, the team and the CT and yourselves have put together a wonderful lineup, as well as some industry people who are from the digital side, the finance side, the trade, logistics, all that waterforce as well.
Oh yes, I think it was, like I mentioned in my closing speech, Brian and I have known each other for a very long time, and when we had this idea, we said, how do we get people with high caliber and really know what they're talking about get to the session? And luckily enough, we have been around long enough so that we can phone a friend and ask them, can you please come? And we're all very passionate about this. So it was not really hard for me to convince anyone to come. I think that was the really good part. And we also chose the topics, really relevant topics in terms of what it really means to people. So as you could see, we expected 100 people. We had 130 plus registrations. I think more than 100 stayed back till the end of the session, which is fantastic.
Yeah. Now, I mentioned to Cindy, and well, she told me there was actually a great way to showcase to ANZ customers about what's possible and really start them on this journey. I think, you know, ANZ is really at the forefront of doing a lot of this stuff in Australia. But where do we sit from a global level in your mind, Hari? I mean, I think my view is that Australia, we're still a little bit behind when it comes to digital trade compared to some other markets. What's your view?
So if you split that question into two, so if you talk about international trade, I don't think we are too far behind. So I gave a couple of examples when I was in my panel. Iron ore is the most digitized commodity in the world, and we lead in iron ore. A lot of Australian companies are really well versed in terms of digitization, which is excellent. They use a lot of really up-to-date processes. And the Australian banks, not just ANZ, all banks are quite well versed in this. But it is the domestic part. What happens prior to something gets to the port, and that is where we need to fix. So if you split it, what do our traders need to do to get something ready for export or get something ready to be imported? That is where I think the biggest bottleneck is. That's where we need to fix. Because once it is there, we are on par with pretty much what we see. Yeah. It is just what happens prior to that is the challenge.
Yeah, so really getting the appetite and the interest for the local companies to try and get on board, and as you say, before it leaves the country.
Yeah, that's like right from the time they receive a purchase order to getting something ready for export, all the processes they need to do. That's where the bottleneck is. Because once it reaches there, it is all easy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you talked to
Relatively easy.
Yeah. I mean, what really stood out is obviously yourself, but also the whole team of people behind today's event, but even the audience, the passion for international trade and, you know, the real energy and vibe in the room is really powerful, and you could really feel it.
Yeah, it is. See, for ANZ and Alan Hughes started in the morning. So we were born as a trade bank. So ANZ was one of the banks given a trade charter by around 200 years or 180 odd years ago by the British monarch to say go and do trade in our colonies. We are, I don't know how many were given out of the top of my mind, but we are, I think, one of the 3 banks still standing. And we were born as a trade bank, and we are very proud to continue as a trade bank. So you will find a lot of people in ANZ who are really passionate about trade. We talk about it a lot. It is in our strategy to help our customers move trade and capital in the region, Asia Pacific region. So it's something we do. So it's very easy for us to talk about this. It's very easy for me to go and talk to my senior executives. Say we are going to do this because they get it.
Yeah, it's already part of the culture, embedded into the culture.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations, Hari, to you and the team for putting on a wonderful event with the CT, and I'm sure there'll be plenty more engagements in the future to come, and look forward to supporting that as well for you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Hari.